Was it right? What I did?
Ask me again in 10 years.
Try not to worry, Ollie. I've been worrying about John for years. He always comes back.
The realm. Do you know what the realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agreed to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones update video. In this video, I want to reveal some new information about the Jon Snow show HBO has been developing. As I'm sure all of you know by now, HBO has been developing a new show with actor Kit Harington, who we all know as Jon Snow from the original Game of Thrones series. This is something he has been working on with HBO and George R. R. Martin ever since the original show ended over 3 years ago. As of right now, we don't know exactly what they will have Jon Snow do in this show. All we know is the Jon Snow series will be set in Westeros after the events of the Game of Thrones Season 8 finale. Now, HBO hasn't released their own official announcement about this show, however, it has already been confirmed by Amelia and George R. R. Martin himself. And after the major success of House of the Dragon, I am sure HBO is more than ready to get another Game of Thrones series out to the fans. We all know there's still a massive demand for all things A Song of Ice and Fire. In this new interview, Game of Thrones actress Gwendolyn Christie, who we all know as Brienne, reveals not only is there another show in development at HBO, but she's also had a conversation about it with its creator, Mr. Jon Snow himself. Let me show you what she said, then I'll give my thoughts on what this might mean for the future of Game of Thrones.
Okay, I have to ask, Game of Thrones, is there any chance that your character would make an appearance in the new Jon Snow spinoff?
Oh, in the new Jon Snow spinoff? Well, I really don't know about that. I think it depends if Kit Harington remembers quite how many favors he owes me. And if the writing's any good. I believe he's doing it himself. No, I have spoken to Kit about it, and I'm really delighted for him. He was so legendary in that role, really. He's a great actor, Kit Harington, and he committed his life to that role, and I think we all want to see more of it.
Well, I would personally love if you got to make an appearance. Congratulations on the show. I'm so excited for everyone to see it.
Thank you.
Have the best time tonight. Thank you.
Alright, so as you can see, she said she did have a conversation about it with Harington, so once again, we know this is a real show they're still actively working on. We also know that she does want to be in the show. She has already said that in another interview. The only thing that would most likely stop her from showing up in this Jon Snow series is if she's not written into the show. Like she just said in this new interview, since Kit Harington is having his own guys write the show, then it's really up to them if they want to try and have other Game of Thrones characters come back into the story. As we all know, when Game of Thrones ended, many of them were still alive. We already know who is with Jon Snow north of the Wall, but we also know the Starks are still alive as well, like Sansa, Bran, and Arya. We also know Brienne, Tyrion, Bronn, Davos, Gendry, Grey Worm, and many others are still out there living in Westeros and even beyond. Not only are all these characters still alive, but many of the actors have already said they would gladly work on this show again. Maisie Williams, who was Arya Stark, said she would be in another Game of Thrones show. John Bradley, who we all know as Samwell, also said the same thing. Even D'Amelia had some fun with the idea, although we all know she is dead right now.
And second, would you ever return to the Game of Thrones universe and say a Jon Snow's movement spin-off?
I mean, it's just difficult because, spoiler, Daenerys died. Do you know what I mean? So, like, that would be a bit like ghouly for me to. Maybe it could be a White Walker. You know what I mean? Like, it'd just be like, yeah. You never know. I mean, we don't know where her body's at, so.
Or go back to life. I mean, that's incredible.
Exactly. Or like the dragons help me out. I don't know.
Ooh, the fire revives you. Or
Exactly. That's
the dragon.
This is very exciting because it gives Kit Harington a lot of new options for the story. He doesn't only have to be in the show himself, out beyond the wall with nothing to do. Obviously, they would have to give him a good reason to move south again, and while he's on that adventure, he could start reuniting with a lot of his old friends or enemies. Jacob Anderson, who we all know as Grey Worm, also weighed in on the Jon Snow show. This is what he had to say.
I'm very, He's one of my favorites. I think it would be pretty tense if he did. I think the only way that Grey Worm would show up in that show is to kill Jon Snow. Like, I don't think Grey Worm would want to see him again. I think like that was quite a significant condition of him living, was like, I don't ever want to see your face again. I'm gonna go my way and you're gonna go your way, and that's that. I'd be very surprised if we saw Grey Worm again.
Now, he says he would be very surprised if Grey Worm was in the new show, but I think that's only because he doesn't expect them to bring him back. He didn't actually say he's not interested. I think he just means he doesn't believe they would bring Grey Worm all the way back from Essos just to have a showdown with Jon Snow. I disagree though. I think it would be amazing if Grey Worm did come back because he found out Jon Snow was no longer north of the Wall. Or dare I say, if Daenerys was resurrected, I would love to see him at her side again. That would actually be amazing, although I know it's not as likely. Now, another thing I really loved about this new interview is how Gwendolyn said she is delighted for Kit Harington. We know she's had a conversation with him about the show, so she most likely knows a lot more about what's happening behind the scenes than any of us. And the fact that she's so happy for him lets me know that he must have said something that revealed the Jon Snow show is still moving full steam ahead. I hope this means that HBO will finally make an announcement of their own very soon. As always, I will make sure to let you know any and everything that is happening with this new Jon Snow series, or House of the Dragon second season, or any other Game of Thrones shows they're developing at HBO. Make sure you subscribe, that way you're always first to know whenever something new happens. Like I have said before, I will be here making new videos every single week during the whole off-season of House of the Dragon. There's a lot more stuff still heading your way. Once again, I want to thank all of you for watching my video. I hope all of you have a great day. I will see you again very soon. Bye.